All right, guys. Well, good evening and welcome to the third in the series of 3 TNT trainings. I'm Brock Meadows. I'll be with you tonight hosting the webinar portion of tonight's training. Hopefully you guys have begun to put to work what you have gone through over the last 2 weeks with Eric kicking us off with purpose and why we do what we do and why you are even here and why this is so important to you. And then Andrew and on the importance of our list and how to use the tools and the all-important use of them and how you connect with people. And then tonight in the broadcast portion, I want to talk to you about 2 specific things. And again, each one of these things have been purposely chosen in the order that they have been presented for the very reason, for a very good reason, and what has been proven to be successful for 22 years in the success system of Advocare. So tonight, we're going to take those points, why you're here, package in your story that you've been working on. You have your purpose that drives everything. You've gotten deep into it to not only identify what it is you want more of in your life, but what do you currently have that you no longer want, meaning that which you're not willing to tolerate anymore. Then you understand now the value of the tools of the Impact and DVD and how best to utilize them to give yourself the opportunity to make a connection, to bring out emotion in somebody. And again, be very clear here that that's not called upon you to do on your own by the words you say and how you say it. That'd be quite a burden. Now, it's important that we get better, and that's why we're here, what we're talking about on how to do that. And all of us are growing each and every day if we're committed to this process and practicing the things we're sharing. But you need to know and understand for the value of duplication here, for the value for every single person in this country to be able to have success in Advocare, it has to be duplicatable. So please know, again, what Andrew had talked about and what we shared on our call further, the proper use of those tools is everything, okay? These topics that we're sharing with you are equally important and of value. If you don't have a purpose, none of it matters. If you never figured out why you're here and why you want to do this, you're going to be stuck on how do we get paid? How does this work? How does that happen? What are the ingredients in the products? You know what I'm saying? If you don't figure out why you're here, you're going to be stuck in those hows, okay? And then you're not going to be willing and clear in thought. And I'm saying this not only to you, for you, but for the people that will follow you. Because you aren't successful here alone. No one is. None of us. So what I love about Advocare too, and it's forever a individual growth process. This is what's really, honestly, one of the biggest rewards of Advocare is nobody can have a big head here. I mean, I guess I don't want to say nobody. If they do, they pretty much aren't probably successful here and they're gone. It's absolutely very humbling, this entire process, and to understand that you can't take all of the load on yourself and make this happen for a longer duration and for the freedom that we're all building this for to achieve. So you've got to get good at duplicating this, and those tools help you do it. And they give every one of us the best chance to speak with courage and strength without having the burden of saying the right words to the right person at the right time, which is nearly impossible. But if you're really, really good, you may be able to do that. But do know this from my heart. If you are that person, you've got to learn very quickly to take a step back and look through it through their eyes. Okay? So tonight, the things I want to talk about then are carrying it forward. The importance of the 3-way phone call and how to set that all-important appointment. That opportunity that is an appointment, that further meeting is an opportunity, and understanding what that is for your prospect that expressed interest to have their questions answered, their concerns addressed, and to look under the hood of this great vehicle of Advocare and see if it's for them. That's what the purpose of the meeting is. So you've got to first understand that, and that will help you if you believe that and that you know that's what's going to happen for them. It's just an opportunity for them to become informed. Then you won't be, sweaty or nervous and fearful of what they're going to say when you ask for that appointment, that opportunity, or when you I should not even say ask, when you say, great, I thought you would like what you saw and you would love that spark. Here's what we're going to do next, Bob. You'll be able to speak with that much confidence because you know what? You know in your heart, that's what the best thing for them. And you also know if it's left up to you, that's not the right way to do it for many reasons. I hope you're with me because I kind of went in a circle there, but that's for purpose. Okay? Even as great as you may be, do know you need to stick to the system because it's not duplicatable if you don't. Okay, so I'll go to my screen share here in just a minute, but one last thing, and you got your pen and paper in hand. As you've begun this process, this journey in AdvoCare, from the products to now learning more about how to impact others and help them, just as you started with your products, okay, I want you to know this and write this down. For you to coach change, you have to experience change. For you to coach change, you have to experience change. If you heard what I said, that one of the greatest gifts of this journey, this opportunity, is the requirement, the necessity for personal growth and development. For you to get control of your health, for you to increase your performance. Do you see this? So in order for you to do that, we talk about belief, that's what that comes from. For you to coach change, you must experience change. And guess what? We're all, if we're doing this right in life, we're always experiencing change of some sort. And hopefully you have decided, as you're being here tonight and on this great team and in AdvoCare, to take control of that change. And you be the one that dictates it. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. We'll get to it. Let's see if that worked. Okay. There. Okay, I think we're on. If we're not, tell me if you don't see the screen. So we're working this as a business. Here's the things we're talking about. Okay. And I want to be very clear. We kind of just leave this here for the purpose of its explanation. How to employ your sponsor. Don't use sponsor. Don't say sponsor. Okay. My friend, my coach, my mentor. Okay. That's more natural, and that's really what it is. So I say that because you will hear this in AdvoCare. I'm not saying it's horrible, but it's just not the way I don't know. Again, do unto others as you would have them do to you. And sponsor gives me an impression that it's something that AdvoCare clearly isn't. So that's why I'm encouraging you not to use it. But just want to get clear. Your job is this. Your only job is to take the products, right? Wear the colors and talk to people that we talked about. Use your credibility with people and what little knowledge you have of AdvoCare. Again, keep it simple. How much, how fast, added benefits. What's of interest to you? What's important to you? What would you like to improve in your life? And then go with that conversation, right? You sharing your story, 30 seconds, most often 2 minutes, very rarely. But you have that packaging created so that you can make one heck of a connecting and genuine 30-second conversation through your story. Okay? And then you pique interest, you identify that interest through a definite next step. All right, Bob, well, I have some specific information I'm going to get together for you here. You give me just a minute, I'll run off the card, see if I have that, whatever it may be. Or you're intentional, you've called someone, you're going to drop something off at their office. Hey, Bob, are you going to be at your office between 3 and 5 today? I'm going to drop off a little care packet for you. I have specific information, and I'm going to give you some awesome product samples for you and your wife to experience for yourself. Cool, I'll do that. Then I'll walk in, bring the product or give the packet to him, say, hey, so here's the things I was talking about, but here's what I want you to do. There's a product called Spark and Rehydrate in there. I might pull it out and show them, and I go over them how to use it, what they should expect from it. My point to you right now for this purpose of discussion is, so Bob, when do you see yourself taking 10 minutes to look at this material and enjoy that product, and give me 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes to give me your feedback, and if you liked it and if you saw something that is of interest to you. And see, they begin to think about their day and their upcoming days, and they set the appointment. Okay, so the definite next step. You never have that conversation. You don't have a contact with somebody in most cases, right? when you're being intentional, right? And an impromptu thing, it might be a little bit different, but you should always walk away with their information in order to follow up, always. But what I'm asking you to do and encourage you to do, and what will really be helpful to you in your time and your effort, is to be very focused on setting what's next, an expectation of follow-up and discussion. So that's what we're going to talk about more, but understand that. And then that's going to, when you call, get that 10-minute conversation of feedback, thoughts, interest. If interest is expressed, they would like to know more, then 8 times out of 10, the very next step is a 3-way phone call or 2-on-1 appointment. The other 2 out of 10, it might just be proc because of just where they're at and what the conversation was said. And you know what, you can certainly start them on a 24-day challenge or spark an M&S or something that's obviously important to them, fitting them with the right procs based on the need that they shared with you and the want that they shared with you. But 8 times out of 10, it's going to be the next step. And that's what we're talking about here tonight, and so important. But I want you to know all that we've covered in 1, 2, and now 3 third session. This is what you do, and you do it every day. You focus on the activities that give you the return, that move the ball down the field, that give you the opportunity to be put in a position to help people get control of their health, to do better by them. Let them begin to see what Advocare is. Now what you see but didn't know 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 6 months ago. It's a process, and trust in it, please. But you repeat, repeat, repeat. This isn't hard at all. It is so simple. But as I've said it 1,000 times, and I think it's one of the most profound statements to live your life by, those things that are easy to do are also the things easy not to do. So if you ever get bored with this that we're talking about now, and you're making less than 10 grand a month, then I got to encourage you to get a checkup from the neck up, because you're not that good at these fundamentals yet. Let me repeat, if you're not making 10 grand a month, these fundamentals can't bore you. They should not bore you. I'm not saying they are, but understand the importance of continuing to repeat, repeat, repeat this for your own skill development and that of those you will lead in the future. Tips for appointment setting, okay? So I already kind of said something here. I won't leave it up long, but know the purpose of the meeting. I think that's most important for you, to give you confidence and strength when you do set the tone for what's next. Okay, I've called you, I've followed up. So Bob, what do you think of the material that I marked for you and Sal? That was pretty interesting stuff. Or what's that, informed choice and testing? I've never seen anything like that in the product sense. Or man, that story that you marked about that coach and his family, and now he's able to stay home and coach his own kids. Is that real? Yes, that's awesome. He's one of my good friends too, and it is so real. Couldn't wait for you to meet him or hear more about his story. Tell me, Bob, though, what did you guys think about the product? Did Sally take the Sparkling Hydrate together like I recommended? Yeah, she had a great day, and I almost forgot I took it, but realized when I got home that, man, my day was awesome. Okay, great. Well, see, buddy, that's what I told you. It's happened for me too. Just innocently enough, I wanted to get control of my health and not depend on coffee to get through the day. So I tell you what, since you obviously said you'd like to know more about that, here's what I want to do for you now. You have 30 minutes the next 3 days where you can meet and go over that a little bit more and talk about some specific things that are of interest to you guys. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, well, give me those 3 times. And here's why I'm asking that, because I'm also going to introduce you to a good friend of mine, Brock. He's a guy that's helped me. He knows the products in and out, and he has an amazing story himself. But most importantly, it's right for you and Sally, because I really want you guys to have the opportunity to get your questions answered. He can answer far better than me, and you know what? I owe it to you, and you guys deserve it. You said you had an interest, you like what you saw, and you've been asked some great questions right now. But I want to do right by you, and even better, give you the opportunity to determine for yourself if this is something you'd like to make make use of. So if you know the purpose of what you're asking and you're leading the way, I know you'll be much more successful in getting appointments. So with that being said, be yourself, be relaxed, genuine, just like you would like to be treated. Always please remember to do that. Ask yourself, is this something that I would find that was goofy or salesy, pitchy, robotic, or is this something that just seemed natural, free, flowing like any good conversation would be among friends? Bring some passion and enthusiasm, right? Don't ever underestimate enthusiasm. Yes, people might look at you kind of strange, like, what are you drinking? But you know what? That's okay, and that's great, because you will stand out. You and your message will be heard. Have a strong posture. Be bold and confident. There's no reason to hide this or be, when I say relaxed, I don't mean, just, like lethargic, relaxed. I mean, just relaxed to cool in my own skin. And I know what I've got because I feel great about what it's done for me. And, but then again, you're not cocky and arrogant about it either. I mean, I'm just, hey, that's cool. That's something that, you would like to benefit from too. I know you would. It's amazing to me. And I understand where you're at. I was there 30 days ago. That relation, making it relevant and connecting. So those are the first things. Now here's some meat. Okay, there's 3 different invitations. And do know this. This is you bring your personality to it. But I want to give you some meat here of substance to know there's many different ways to think about your list, to create the invitation in your mind. Practice that. Pick up the phone or go to someone in person or just simply be prepared for all of those opportunities that do exist daily. And the more you practice it, the better skilled you will become at it, the more natural the delivery will be, the more natural and consistent your thoughts of which approach works based on who that person is and how you know them and what you know about them. So this is not sales 101 kind of thing, but do understand this. If we don't sell, we don't get to help. Just like in my training business, right? If I don't, you came into my doors for a reason. There is really no reason that somebody should be walking out of there. And I'll be honest with you guys, it can't be price. Price, time, and spouse are the 3 top excuses. And I'm here to tell you, I can't go in that tonight. I'm going to do a little bit on our call with our team, on our team call part there. But you need to be prepared for the natural and most common objections. That's why we have that sheet at the top of our team Facebook page about how to answer the retail price and master the membership conversation. If you haven't printed it off and read it and studied it 1,000 times already, okay, maybe 50 times already, you're missing one of the biggest, ways to overcome the biggest challenge that you'll face in a lot of times. And it's not a challenge anymore to any of us that have studied it and do it, because it's not ever about price. It's not. They'll say that is, but you haven't done what you need to do to make that not an issue. People will pay for what they value. So that's a whole nother discussion, but I want you to know, just like these invitations and approaches, you need to know what you're going to be commonly thrown at you. What questions? So how are you going to answer them? How are you going to be prepared? So here's the 3 approaches. A direct approach. Okay? You taking notes on this. This is used when you are inviting people to learn more about an opportunity for them. Okay? This is just direct. You know someone really well. It's an invitation that should be reserved for people you know and respect. And I mean, for those that know you, people who know and respect you, is what I'm saying, that are searching for something better. So this is a direct approach, is left for and meant for those that that they know you and they respect you, and you know their problems, okay? And you know what they're looking for. So let me give an example. When you told me, okay, so Eric, when you told me you were sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, were you serious about wanting to make a change, or did you just say that to have me hear you complain? Okay, that's a direct and abrupt approach. Hey, when you told me you were feeling sick and tired of being sick and tired, were you serious about it, or are you just wanting to, have a shoulder to cry on? Seriously, bro. I've heard you talk about this for, I don't even know, last 6 months. I mean, dude, you got to do something different. That's a direct approach. Just being real. I'm going to talk to you like I would talk to a friend. Okay. Here's another example. Let me ask you a question. If there was a business you could start working part-time from your home that could replace your full-time income, would that interest you? Okay, so there's a friend, a person I know who's financially not satisfied with where he's at. Maybe the spouse got laid off recently. So no, don't beat around the bush. Don't be fearful of anything. I know him. He knows me. We have a relationship. He knows I'm not what I'm about. So let me just throw it out there. Dude, let me ask you a serious question. If there was a business you could start working part-time, okay, not changing what you're doing full-time, and you could do it from home on your time, but that it could potentially replace your full-time income, would that interest you? That's a direct approach. Here's one more, because I want to. Direct is this is where most of us should start, right? The people we know. When you set your list this last week, and you have people in those product categories Here's a great one. Weight loss and energy, right? Think about it. I found a way for you to lose those unwanted pounds to gain control of your better health. Do you have a plan on doing what you're? Do you plan on doing what you're doing now for the rest of your life? Those kind of things on a process. I found a way for you to lose weight, unwanted pounds, and gain control of your better health. Do you want to hear it? That's how you can talk to a friend. And on the financial side, do you have a plan on doing what you're doing now, or do you plan on doing what you're doing now for the rest of your career? Is it something that fulfills you? In a year from now, 5 years from now, is this what you really want to be doing? Okay. Here's an indirect approach. An indirect approach, guys, this is a powerful approach to help get people past their initial resistance and educate them on what you have to offer. Okay, let me try to repeat that. Indirect approach, right? It's a powerful approach to help get people past their initial resistance and educate them on what you have to offer. This approach is about asking the prospect for help, input, feedback, or guidance. So you're kind of changing the dynamic here. It's an indirect approach. So let me give you an example. I have found something that is adding value to me and my family, and I'm excited for where I know it's taking us. I greatly value your opinion, Bob, and would appreciate your thoughts and feedback. Would you be willing to check it out and give me your opinion? That's an indirect approach, and that is what I use most. It's honestly what I use most. I mean, I still do a lot of direct approaches because that's my personality, and I, again, know a lot of people that I still haven't gotten to yet, and people that keep coming back around, and you just get right to the point. But indirect approach, I'm just asking for your opinion and feedback, and I'm asking you for your help, and just tell me if this is something you think would be of value to you. I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm just asking you to check it out and give me your feedback if it would be something. That indirect approach is very successful. Let's put it that way. Okay. I'll give you another one. Hey, I've lost 10 pounds in 24 days with some incredible products. I'm excited to have the opportunity to help the people in my life that I like improve their health and feel as good as I do. Would you take these product samples as directed and simply let me know what you thought? See, guys, do you hear what I just said there? Listen, I've weaved my story. Hey, Bob, I've lost 10 pounds in 24 days with some incredible products. I'm excited to have the opportunity to help people in my life that I like you, improve their health and feel as good as I do. Would you take a couple sample products for me and as I direct and you simply let me know if you liked them and what you thought? That's an indirect approach. Okay. Third, super indirect. In this approach, you tell the prospect they aren't a prospect. Okay. I like this one too. And this is, I've used this quite a bit. And again, it's not manipulating anything. I'm meeting people where I know them to be, and this is sometimes for the super indirect is for someone who's been very successful. They're probably a 9 or 10 on a scale of 1 to 10 of high level people, character, success. Okay. They might be a mentor of yours or someone you look up to. Right. So I want to stroke that ego a bit as well. And I'm sincere. I mean it. I do value what they think. So this is used for a prospect who really, they aren't a prospect. And you're just interested in finding out if they know someone else who might benefit from your products or business. So example for you guys to think about, write this down. Who do you know that is good, hardworking, outgoing person that's not satisfied with what they are doing for a living and would like to do what I do? So Mike, I love you and think the world of you. And I just love the way you've raised your family, the way you've built your business and how successful you've done life. And you know how much I appreciate you. And you know what I'm about and what I'm striving to do as well in my business and for my family. So I wanted to ask you, for 10 minutes of your time to give if you would be willing to give me 10 minutes to think about the people that that I may not know, who you like, who are hard workers too, that are outgoing people that like helping other people and would very much maybe be interested in doing what I'm doing. And I would be happy to help them. Okay, that's a super indirect approach. Now, here's the thing. Every time you do that, most times you do that, I should say, they're going to say, yeah, I would certainly like to do that, Brock, but before I can think of those people, I need to know more about what it is. So do you have some material for me? Guess what? Bingo. Yes. And he's going to look at it. I'm going to mark it just the same. And now, while he's not a prospect in his mind, he's a prospect in mine, because he's going to go, yeah, Brock, this looks really good. Tell me more about this. Well, great, Mike. I'm glad you asked. And, I'm sorry, of course you would benefit from these great products too. I know you've got more than enough money, or I know you're not interested in that, but you obviously have a need, like all human beings, to take good care of yourself, and I would love to help you too. And at the same time, I can obviously go to work and help the people that your referrals do the same. Is that something you would like to know, for us to discuss more? So that's what can lead into. So what is not a prospect really becomes a prospect also, but you are mainly focused on that super indirect approach. That person that you value, that you think well of, who's a high numbered person, high class person, right? Or high level person of how they in this life, right? That people respect and look up to. That he can put you in many places where you maybe otherwise would not be able to get into. That's a super indirect approach. So I encourage you, never shy away from those 9s and 10s. Always recruit up and look for the method and invitation that would work best for you to do it genuinely, comfortably, and effectively. I hope that makes sense. And the last thing there on the bottom is that get the time commitment. If I would you. So if you're going to give someone an impact in DVD, please write down these words as you do when you tell your story. Well, great, Jim. Let me say this. If I were to give you specific material and some great product samples that they're my favorite to start my day with, would you take 10 minutes to look it over, take the product as directed, and give me a 5 to 10 minute time frame in the next 2 or 3 days that we can schedule to get your feedback and your honest impression of that material and those products? Great. If I would you, guys, that's money in being definitive, okay, being strong but not overbearing. Just if I would you. I'm not just giving away samples just to give it away, guys. I hope you're not either. But if I would you. Okay, in the last few minutes here, that 3-way phone call, moving on for those approaches, I just want you to know this. You got to use them like we talked at the beginning. I mentioned how you want to get them on the phone, and there's some word choices in front of you. I want you to hear what I heard from the person that's helped me, and he's going to also be of value to you too. I'm new. I can introduce you to who is helping me. Whatever it may be, just whatever fits you, but it is natural that it's important, and you're making a great, it's not even an invitation, so to speak. It's here's what I'm going to do for you because it's the right thing to do. I have a responsibility. You've expressed interest, and this is the best way for you to becoming fully informed so you can make a decision for yourself. Again, no commitment other than just getting to know more about why I'm excited about it and how it worked for me, and if it could possibly be the same for you. Okay. When you do it, though, and you schedule that time, and I'm asking you guys, get 3 times because your leader can typically always make one of those 3 work. But the call is anywhere from 15 to 20, maybe 30 minutes in some instances, right? But this is the important part. Know your part. If you're the leader doing the call, know your part. If you're the member that's connecting the leader and prospect, know what you're to do. You are to get that appointment. You are to set up this call. You are to, when everyone's on the line, and by the way, everybody go to freeconferencecalling.com or freeconferencecall, whichever one you want.com. It takes 60 seconds to get your own conference line. That's much more professional. And you can provide that to your prospect and provide it to your leader, and everyone comes in at 1 o'clock. And you, as the facilitator of that call, you say, hey guys, thanks for being here. Brock, I have my good friend Jim on the line. I've known him since high school. And he and I were talking at a get-together last weekend, and he saw what changes that I've gone through and how great these products have helped me. And we just began to talk about it more. I gave him the Impact magazine and the Spark Rehydrate. He absolutely loved the product. And he has goals of losing some weight and getting his control, getting control of his health. And his wife is obviously is interested as well. So Jim, again, this is my buddy Brock I mentioned to you. He's helped me. He's helped hundreds of other people. He's really a knowledgeable source that I encourage you to ask all the questions you have, because it's a great opportunity for you to make sure you get your questions answered. So I'm going to put my phone on mute. I'm going to have a pen and paper in hand because I'm going to be getting great value from this call too. But at this point, Jim, I'm going to turn it over to Brock. And Brock, it's all yours. Okay, you edify both people, your prospect and your leader, and bringing them together. Then it makes it so much more natural for your leader than to go into that phone call. Now, here's what the last thing I want you to know. The leader is not there to close anything. The leader is going to simply ask one or two good quality questions, as we all should do, then share a part of his story or her story based on what the answers to those questions were of the prospect, basically what's going to tell them what's their main interest. And then maybe ask if there's any other question that they have specifically, or ask a good question to dig a little deeper. And then at that point, turn it back to the, say, thank you for your time. It's a pleasure to talk with you. I look forward to working with you and be a further help in your journey. I'm going to turn it back to Sam at this point. And then, Sam, are you there? And then turn it back. The leader gets off the phone. They're off. I didn't ask them, hey, what are you going to do? What discount level? And no pressure, stupid, goofy things there. We're not there to do it. We're there to connect, share our story, validate that these products in this company offer a lot more than just their friend, right? Which isn't bad, but it's everyone needs that third-party credibility, and that's what that call and that meeting does. But it's up to you, back to you, the facilitator of the call, to then ask two questions. Last things, write this down. So the phone call's over as far as the leader is off, and you simply ask, just like you did with the impact follow-up. So was that helpful? How would you like to get started? Those are the two questions you ask. So, what'd you think? Or was that as helpful as I promised? And then, okay, great. I told you it would be. He's a really good guy, and man, this is awesome. This is everything you're hearing it to be. So, how would you like to get started, Jim? That's what you do. And for us to work well and be effective with all of our time and energy and effort, that's what we need to know. Your expectations, your responsibilities, and the leaders, and you as a leader. So just know those are important. And those are some things up there on how you do it. So with that, I'm going to unshare my screen here. Okay, and there we got it. All right, guys, so thanks for joining us. We're going to turn over to our calls, but I hope that's been helpful on the word choices and the importance of setting the appointment. Get familiar with those three different ways. I think it'll begin to broaden your and frame on a wider spectrum the list that you have in front of you on how best to approach them. Guys, thanks for joining us for this 3 weeks, and I'm excited to see what you do going forward. Have a great night.